That's right, boys. Welcome to the side of the ring because it's time for some Ringside rumors. Ringside News claims Goldberg will not be working the upcoming Crown Jewel event in November, but Brock Lesnar is currently scheduled to work the show. Oh, fuck. So it might actually be Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Cormier. Oh, God. You know what? It's under Triple H's regime, so that means that the match is going to be somewhat decent, all right? I need to leave it alone. Johnny Gargano is well regarded within WWE for how he handled his exit and free agency, per Fightful Select. They also say that even before Triple H took power, there was interest in bringing him to the main roster. Because you don't burn your bridges! Maybe, just maybe, and this is just me, maybe don't slag off the fucking company that doesn't necessarily do anything wrong to you, specifically. If WWE mismanages you, then even then, you don't fucking go out. You go out there and you say, you know what, WWE gave me numerous opportunities, and they helped me, and they provided for me, and they were there, and they could have done so much shit to me, and they didn't. And for that, I thank them. Could they have been a lot better? Right? Of course. They could have been a whole lot better. But to sit there and for WWE to, like, give you everything, and then you go off and then you go, WWE shit, ain't they? You just come off as ungrateful and spoiled, and you come off as arrogant, and you look like a shithead. So maybe, Punk, Saraya, maybe don't do that, because there's a chance that shit might fuck up, and you might not know what the fuck to do with your dumb ass, and you might sit there and think to yourself, fuck, what am I gonna do? Fuck, shit. And then you want to go back to WWE and you can't. Because you sat there and you fucking whined and cried and sucked your thumb. And I ain't got no fucking bridges anymore because you burned all of them. More so Punk than Paige. But shit, man. That doesn't make any sense. I know what I'll do. Hey, fuck those guys. Fuck them. Those guys can suck my dick. Oh, I just got fired. Oh, awkward. Next, AEW has, quote, massive interest in bringing in Juice Robinson as often as possible and making him a regular, per reports PW Insider. Hey, don't do that. Hey, just a thought. Fucking, let me think. FTR, fucking Wardlow, fucking Jesus, man. Maybe actually give some fucking shine to the people that are already on the roster. Just a thought. Just a fucking synapse that popped into my fucking brain. For the love of God, man. Stop doing that. You're bringing all these fucking people. Oh, he's good. Bring him on. Oh, he's cool. Sign him. He's good. There he is. Luigi Primo. He better have been in a fucking match on Dark Elevation or Dark. He better have. Because if you're just going to fucking pop him up on the main roster for no goddamn reason and he's not doing anything, another fucking waste of talent. Don't bring Juice Robinson in. Don't. Make him be a free agent. Make him roll around at the speed of sound everywhere else. Don't put him on the fucking main roster because you got all that shit to take care of first. Next, the Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that Gabe Sapolsky's new role with WWE is, quote, creative team consultant for the main roster. Who in the world is Gabe Sapolsky? I'm going to wrestle Brian Alvarez. Regarding his during continuity versus besides Brian Fisher's Bobby Fisher's ongoing investigation of All Out and the rest. PW Center reports Gabe Sapolsky is back with WWE and on the creative team. It's not known if the former Ring of Honor and Evolve Booker is working on the main roster or in NXT. Okay, so he knows what he's doing, and that bodes well for the matches then. Great. Next, Wrestling Observer newsletter on the Usos possibly wrestling at Extreme Rules. Quote, we were told the Usos are still in discussion as far as a match on the show, but nothing was definite. Okay, well, they are the champions. And it would make sense to put them on the show because, you know, you kind of don't want them to not be featured, right? But at the same time, I can understand the situation regarding, like, there's no challengers and really who's going to believe the team? Let's be honest here. This is the thing about booking yourself into a corner. What exactly, like... and no one believes that anybody is going to take the titles off of them. Unless it's like a really big pay-per-view like Survivor Series or Royal Rumble or WrestleMania. Like, no one's really going to believe that the titles are getting taken off of them anytime soon. You know? So, on one hand, it's like you want them to be in a match. But on the other hand, it's like if they're not in a match, then good. Because if you put them in a match, then no one's really, like, it's going to be a good match, obviously. But there's no hype. Because everyone is like, oh, well, Usos are going to win. Like, you can telegraph that from like a mile away, you know? So I understand if they're not going to put them on there. Next, the Observer on Tony D'Angelo's injury. Quote, the last word was that he would be out 6 to 8 weeks. Okay. I kind of thought it would be a bit sooner than that. But then again, it's a knee injury, and you don't want to fuck it up any more than it already is. So it makes sense that he's going to be out for that prolonged amount of time, just to make sure, so that when he comes back, he doesn't have to worry about it. So that makes sense. Here's hoping he makes a speedy recovery. I say that to everybody who's currently under the weather. And finally, Insider notes that Dustin Rhodes hasn't been around lately because he's still recovering from a knee issue. Oh, man. All right, well, again, hopefully he makes a speedy recovery. It makes sense that he's out, and it makes sense that he's not going to, be back anytime soon. So, and hopefully when he comes back, he'll be right as rain, boys. All right, what did we talk about? Goldberg will not be working the upcoming Crown Jewel, but Brock Lesnar will, so that probably means he's going to be fighting Daniel Cormier. Gargano was well regarded within WWE for how he handled his exit and free agency per Fightful Select, and even before Triple H took power, there was interest in bringing him to the main roster. That's because you don't burn your bridges. Don't burn your bridges. Just don't do that. I'm not saying that that's what Gargano did, and I'm not saying that that's what he would have done, but it pays dividends. It pays dividends to be like, hey, thank you for the opportunity that you gave me. Even if they treated you like shit, you still say, hey, man, you gave me an opportunity, and I thank you for it. All right? Because it just shows your professionalism, your responsibility, your reliability. Like, it just shows that you, despite all that, you're still, like a decent person to work with, man. And that is the message you need to get across. AEW has massive interest bringing in Juice Robinson. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Work out everybody else first before you work on Juice Robinson. Wrestling Observer Newsletter reports Gabe Sapolsky's new role with WWE's creative team consultant for the main roster. Good. That means more fucking smart minds in the creative role, and no one's gonna be booked like a doofus. No one has to go in the ring anymore and lay an egg, thank God. All right. Wrestling Observer Newsletter. Usos are probably wrestling in Extreme Rules, but nothing is definite, which is fair. If you put them on the card, people will obviously assume that they're winning. If you don't put them on the card, people are going to complain that they're not on the card. But if you put them on the card, people aren't going to watch because they know what's going to happen. But they'll be the first ones to scream and shout about how the Usos aren't getting on TV or whatever the fuck. Tony D'Angelo is going to be out for the next 6 to 8 weeks. That makes sense. It's a knee injury. You wanted to recover very well. And Dustin Rhodes is also out with a knee injury. And again, you don't want him to be here for first of all, you don't want him to be walking on it. And second of all, I'm not saying that they don't need Dustin Rhodes, right? But he's out with a knee injury. Don't be doing anything extra than you need to be, all right? Focus on recovering and come back when you're ready. Folks, shout out to everybody who stopped by. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode because I certainly enjoyed making it, and I'll definitely catch you guys in the next one.